evening, parents and students who are expected to join on the Facebook and YouTube of Smart Natives and Novo Leaders. I welcome everyone who is watching the recording or the live session. So, what's the session about? Here there is Nahid Khan, and you can see on the screen, or another mentor, Mr. Sumeet Arora, who has joined from Pune, Novo Leaders. So we are here for the students, we are here for the parents. And what happens when it is career analysis or where it is career decisions, it is really kya banoge munna, like everybody coming with some anxious worriedness and one point of view like this. I'm putting another specs and I wish I have another one, and the child is not able to see for himself or herself. So the role Mr. Sumeet and Nahid are having is really giving the child the clear vision, how to choose a career, why to choose the career, how to handle their anxiety about career. So we are here at your service, and I'm sure we will be contributing to you at our level best, because we personally, Mr. Sumit will now, on my request, share that how can I really introduce him as a career expert. Still, he's on a journey of ongoing transformation, ongoing learning as a trainer, but you are an expert and experts are always experts, no doubt. So Sumiti, a little introduction, because we never got chance to introduce. So please let the parents know who you are.
Okay, that's wonderful. So, career has been a passion throughout my last 25 years, working with engineering students as I was an engineer, and then working with corporates, the working professionals. I used to help them climb their career ladder. I used to train them in soft skills and leadership skills and help the working professionals grow in their profession. That's something which corporates want. Working with all this, I got associated with an organization which does training and placement for commerce students. And there I got a chance to work with them as a career advisor, plus work on their academics and help them build a placement network across the country of around 100 plus placement centers where we used to place students. While doing this, got introduced to various career counselors, trained them on the right way of career counseling, and understood from them the various problems, the various myths people have about career. And that's where I decided, how about getting to help students do the right questions, to answer the right questions in career. One of the important myth which many parents and students have is that the career decision, the right time of career decision is 10th and the 12th standard. That's one of the myths. Why do I call it a myth? Is that the choice of stream happens here in 10th and 12th, definitely. But career preparation has to start quite before that, a few years before that. And 10th and 12th is not the final decision. After that, when you reach graduation, you are passing out of it, you have a decision to make. You have to decide which company to join or to go for post graduation, another career decision to make. 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, every time you have a very wonderful thing which is called as a mid career crisis. Even that is an important point to decide upon a career. I have many people, working professionals, who come to me, having trained 50,000 plus professionals in the last 25 years. Many of them are in connection, and they call upon and ask, Sumit, 15 years in this company, 7 years in this company, what next? Where do I go? I do not see a change. And that is where you really say that career is not a one-time decision. It is a throughout life decision. Even 30, 40 years experienced people on the verge of retirement do not want to retire, but they want to change their career now. बहुत पैसा कमा लिया. Now what do I do? Should I get into consulting, advising, training, and what. So careers is throughout, and that's something which I always want to tell people, that don't look at it as a one time thing. It's a throughout thing in life.
Sumit, Sumit ji, we have some students here. We
Yeah.
have Muskan. We have Muskan. You can ask your question. You can hear me, and the other students also. मैंने request किया है अपना आप सवाल लिखें. हम उस सवाल की का जवाब आपका यहाँ से देंगे. So please type your question. Yeah, I'm waiting for your question. So really, mentors का role. All the students who are here. Mentors are people. होते तो वो फ्रेंडशिप बैंड है, लेकिन they are so smart and really a true friend because they can stretch you. They can help you find your strengths. And that is what Smart Natives बहुत fortunate है, because we have really collaborated with Sumit ji at the right time, the COVID times, when people need this, students
True.
need this, parents need this, and serving all parents and students. See, that is why this happiness is there even at 9:40, I think, on your face and my face. This
Very
excitement, because we are rightly in the passion. और यही students के लिए भी है. And the PDF which you are sharing the 400 careers. So here, like all these things shared with students, they get a new viewpoint and a new like the direction how to make the career choice. Yeah, uh, Miss
so
Jakar, Mr. Jakar, you can ask the question. आप आप पूछिए, सुमित सर जवाब देंगे. Just post your question in short, and I am
there's
looking forward for your question.
there's
And
one more
also,
thing there's one more thing which came to my mind when you use the word mentors. There's one more very important question which comes: are parents the right mentors for career guidance? Can parents guide the students, their children, for career? And there's always a a problem question kind of a thing. हम parents को क्या बोले कि आप guide नहीं कर सकते हो, या parents में कुछ कम है as compared to mentors. So there's one very important thing to remember, that because Sumit is an engineer, he can guide his child whether to get into engineering or not, if engineering is the right career or not. Like, you have been into the Navy, the Army, so you could talk about nursing, you could talk about Army, Navy, and guide if your
exactly.
child wants to get
Yogesh,
into it.
please switch on your video, please. A 10th standard student is here.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
So that's very true, that parents can do that. However, it is very important to remember that parents do not know about all the careers, and that is what mentors are for. Parents should take help of mentors from various fields where the child wants to go, get him connected, and help them ask questions. That is the right way to go about with the career part of it.
एग्जैक्टली. और पेरेंट्स के लिए मैं ये कहूंगी, वो एक स्पेस है जहां वो बच्चा शो अप करता है. तो let the parents do their job. And whenever we talk about teens, there is a common phenomena. It's just like a biological, a psychological happening everybody experiences. So there is a disconnect with the parents, nothing wrong or right about it, and there is a connect with the exploration of outer environment, जहाँ उनको validation मिलती है उनके friends से, या जो भी validation देता है उनको. So the connect starts, in a very special way. So parents can be really enjoying, the growing up of the youth into really a small, a tree budding, like एक पेड़ बड़ा हो रहा है. और यहाँ हम कैसे बता सकते हैं कि वो पेड़ क्या है? वो तो with the time, when the fruits are visible, when the flowers are visible, then I get present ki, okay, this is what I am nurturing, and then I can
Very,
really, and then I can nurture in a very different way, because everybody's the expectation of the student is different. Yes,
very true.
I'm still waiting for the questions, and I will
There's
make one very good announcement that from Saturday, your Sumeet Arora's sir's counseling would be available at smartnativeschool.com. So we will be having a link. So those who ever are wishful to invest time, because time is money. invest time with Sumit sir, even with me in if any case I am required. So there are links which are available, and we are happy to have one-on-one call with you all.
True.
So,
One very
so
interesting point which you mentioned, Naid ma'am, was about the disconnect which sometimes parents have with the students, right? And this has been a question with lot of parents when we come across, and even me as parents when I talk to my son, and we find that he's not very connected to us as a parent and child relationship. We really introspect and figure out what is happening, and the best thing is to ask the child and listen to the child with an open mind. The child would really tell you that as a parent you are always in a correction mode. You are always trying to guide and nurture. तुम हमेशा जब हो तब ना हल लेके बैठ जाते हो, आप एक फार्मर की तरह ना मुझे कुरेदते रहते हो, मुझको कुछ ना कुछ उसके अंदर उगाने की कोशिश करते हो, एंड यू आर ऑलवेज वरीड अबाउट मी, और मुझे ऐसे इधर उधर उगने नहीं देते हो, हमेशा आप मेरी क्यारी बनाना चाहते हो, आप कटिंग करके बिल्कुल बढ़िया करना चाहते हो. यू आर सो केयरिंग एंड योर ओवर केयरिंगनेस क्रिएट्स अ सफोकेशन फॉर द चाइल्ड. And this is what a child really wants to say, though he may not say in those words. As a parent we need to realize कि हम हमेशा अगर एक किसान की तरह हर चीज को जोतने लगेंगे, उनके ऊपर काम करने लगेंगे, तो वो नहीं चलेगा. यू विल हैव टू रियली बैलेंस योर टाइम. कितना प्रतिशत समय आप जोतने में लगाते हैं और कितना प्रतिशत उसको खाली छोड़ते हैं. And if the connection is lost with the child, it is because of our over love, over correctness, and over caring nature. And we could avoid that. We could use time considerably well with other discussions as well.
नहीं सुमित जी, यहाँ पे देखिए पेरेंटिंग एक स्किल है. तो अगर हम वेट लॉस के लिए जिम जा सकते हैं, हम योगा कर सकते हैं, हम एक डाइट फॉलो कर सकते हैं, तो जब हमको कुछ एक्सपर्ट्स हैं जो प्रोफेशनल्स हैं, सर्टेनली मेकिंग इट मोर जॉयस. कौन नहीं चाहता है कि जिंदगी और खूबसूरत हो. बच्चों के साथ ये जो समय है, आई एम ऑनेस्टली सेइंग यू, वेन एवर आई कम टू द सेशन, आई इंश्योर कि वी आर विद सम practical examples and some experiences for the people, because knowing makes no difference. इतनी जानकारी तो गूगल ही है. तो मैंने आज एक प्रैक्टिस ली कि कल में मेरे जो बच्चे हैं 10th एंड 12th, अब मैं उनका बुक सेट पूरा एक बार अपने बेड पे मंगा के, बिकॉज दैट्स अ कोजी जोन, आई हैव अ स्मॉल चेयर एंड आई हैव क्रिएटेड अ कंफर्ट जोन. तो वहां पे मैं उनकी पूरी बुक्स कल करने वाली हूँ. एक बार चेक व्हाट इज द सिलेबस. सो वी कैन रियली, एंड वो कब हुआ, जब सुमीत जी आने वाले हैं क्या बनोगे मुन्ना पे, तो द पेरेंट इनसाइड मी. सो लाइक दिस, जब हम इस प्रैक्टिस में होते हैं तो हम हकीकत में हम बहुत कुछ जाना अनजाना क्रिएट कर जाते हैं.
True.
So Sumit ji, how was your counseling experience with my son?
Okay. Now, discussing with your son was a very wonderful experience, and a reasonably tricky one. Let me tell you why. On public screen, in front of everyone, and I'm not going to take your son's name for a basic reason, so that he doesn't lose his privacy. I talk to you and I talk to your son. So the thin line which I have to walk on is not to open up those things which your son talks to me, and not to talk to your son about the things which you talk to me about him. And that's a very thin line which every counselor has to follow, for the basic reason it's a trust thing. If I and he discusses something which we share, it is not right as a professional counselor to talk to you about it, because that's a sharing between him and me. Whether it is about career, it is not about psychological things. Even if it is about career, what he thinks right, what he thinks wrong, if I make a judgment there and pass it on to you, it may not be good for him.
Okay, so I'll put my question again differently. How was your experience with my son, who is having listening for you as a mentor? What all, because he's listening to you.
I know.
And he's coming to you.
I know. So
what do you get as an energy, as a potential, and what do you see as a mentor? What all is possible now when this child comes to you and discusses with you things which he cannot share with even a trainer mother or a counselor mother.
True. So one of the important things which I do with my mentees is that I ask them questions and I keep listening. Last session as well, when I did with your son, it was a 45-minute session and I spoke for merely 10 minutes. Rest he was talking. And I have a feedback that he talks less. And I'm surprised when he talks so much. And when he talks so much, he brings out a lot of elements. I just have to bring in some questions. I have to ask him if this is okay, if this is right, would he like to do it? And he comes up with so many wonderful points. And then he again comes up with his own commitment about date of when he would be able to do it. And he came up with a few more things like we have done this for one career. I'll do this for the other career also, which I have in mind. And I was so pleased and surprised that, wow, here is a boy who really wants to use the same process which I discussed about one career on another career as well. And when I asked him by when it would be possible, he gave me a date and he said, next time I'll contact you directly, not through my mom. And I said, wonderful, yes. And that's that connection which is important as a part of a mentor-mentee relationship.
And I want to inform you, you are not knowing this, but you must have given him one assignment that he has to meet people wherein he is considering his career after his 12th maths this current year passes. So he has taken appointment from a person कि वो उनके ऑफिस जाएगा और वहां पे उनके साथ बैठ के बात करेगा. So this is something, you know, which the child is doing on his own.
We actually created 25 questions together. In fact,
Okay.
all of them were created by him. I was just prompting him in directions. And those 25 questions are his interview questions, which is going to ask that person to understand more about the career. What else is enablement? It is not that I am giving answers. I'm just helping him go to the right person and ask the right questions so that he gets the right information and makes his career decisions. And he gets a satisfaction out of it. He makes his own choices. That's more important
Right.
than I telling him, must do this or don't do this. As a counselor, I hate doing that. Telling somebody this is good for you. No, that's not a counselor's work.
Yeah, and the right choices are with the choices which we discover from our own self. So quickly, I will come to the question. Hello, ma'am, Yogit. Yogit this side. My question to Sumit sir is how to let know that which stream is best for you. Yogit is in 10th standard.
Wonderful. So, which stream is best for us would depend upon what career you want to make in life ahead. So, art, science, commerce, normally that is the division of streams which comes in. So, there are around 400 different careers. Every career has the basic qualification required for it. So, Nahid ma'am will give you a link where you could download that career sheet. Once you have that career sheet, you could look at for this career options, what is the basic qualification required. For something like hospitality, or something like into arts, or somewhere where you are looking at becoming a creative director, or you are trying to become a musician, or you want to have something else in those creative fields as a designer, etc., you really do not need a science background. But even if you have a science background, it's okay. Now that's an important part to understand. Very similarly, if you want to get into the medical field or engineering field, or something where science background is compulsory and arts or a commerce student cannot go, so you'll have to choose a career in that way. Or if you want to get into a career which is about all about money, which is all about banking, finance, accounting, so commerce field is preferred as a base. Even if you go with a science and then shift into commerce, that's allowed. If you are not decided, that's one very important state which many students are. So you do not know whether you want to go into this career or that or that. You have 3-4 careers name which you think, and that's correct, and that's not wrong. Then you have to look at, for this, what is the qualification, which stream is required. And if you have to jump, is the jump allowed after 2 years? So if you're in 10th now, after 12th, do you want to shift? Is it allowed? Or after graduation, if you want to shift, is it allowed? And then you have to choose your subjects and streams accordingly, right? So the stream selection does not come first. First comes is, out of those 400, 500 careers, which are those 10 or 5 careers which you want to go, which you want to pursue in. and it's okay to have that confusion, and based on that confusion then you say which stream would you like to go into. So that's how you choose streams.
Yeah, so another student, Suman Jakar, he or she is the name is I don't know the properly it's not mentioned. So I think the student is in 12th standard. So there is a question that we I am confused about the career. So how do you
And there,
address the confusion?
yeah, and there are many career options, is what is written in the chat. There are many career options after 12th, and we are confused about the career. Very true. If there are very many career options, the confusion is bound to happen. Why? Because there are many. If there was only one option, then there was no confusion, isn't it? But it is good to have that confusion. Why? Because there is a chance that you can choose. And how do you choose now? That's the confusion, right? So there are many options. How do I choose which is best for me? Ikigai method, right? What are those questions? First question, ask yourself what you are good at. What are your strengths? What do you do better than others? So what are the topics, what are the ways in which you can find out what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are, what you are good at? Get an aptitude test done, find out what aptitude you are good in, get a multiple intelligence test done, identify in which multiple intelligences you are good at. That's one way to look at careers that you are good at. The second thing is about what do you love to do. Now, what is your love to do is which is your favorite subject, not because of the teacher, because of the topics. Which is that activity which you love to do continuously? Nobody motivates you, nobody tells you, पर आप करते रहोगे, आपको मजा आता है वो करने में, आपको ऐसा फीलिंग आता है कि ये करना चाहिए. What is that you love? What are your likes, dislikes, preferences? This is the second part of it. And third, what lifestyle cost do you want to earn out of your career? आपका घर खर्चा चलाने के लिए आज से 5 साल बाद, 10 साल बाद, आप कितना पैसा आपके उस करियर से मिलना चाहिए? लाख रुपए अभी आप खर्च करते हैं, तब 2 लाख लगेगा शायद पर मंथ. सो डज दैट करियर पे यू अराउंड 2 लाख रुपीज? सो ये 3 क्वेश्चंस कम से कम. पर्पस एक और चौथा इकिगाई का सर्कल है, बट पर्पस के बारे में मैं जान सकता हूं क्या, बोल सकता हूं क्या, व्हाट इज माई पर्पस ऑफ लाइफ? लोग बूढ़े हो जाते हैं सोचते सोचते पर्पस ऑफ लाइफ क्या है, तो वो क्वेश्चन को थोड़ी देर के लिए साइड में रखते हैं. बट ये 3 क्वेश्चंस के अगर आप आंसर दे लो तो यू कैन आइडेंटिफाई व्हाट योर चॉइसेस आर, और फिर उसको कंपेयर करो विद वेरियस करियर्स और वेरियस ऑप्शंस कि इसमें से कौन सा ऑप्शन क्या देगा. एंड देन यू कैन डिससेलेक्ट कि ये नहीं चाहिए, ये बचे, अब इसमें से आई हैव टू चूज. और फिर उसमें से जो भी आप क्षमता है, पैसे की, समय की, माँ बाप की, उसके हिसाब से आप वो ऑप्शन ले सकते हैं.
So Muskan is now saying sometimes I want to be teacher. कभी मैं टीचर बनना चाहती हूँ, कभी मैं वेब डिजाइनर बनना चाहती हूँ.
बढ़िया.
So
very true. Now how do you go about with this? So at least you're shortlisted too. बहुत बढ़िया. टीचर बनना चाहते हो, स्कूल्स में बनना चाहते हो, कॉर्पोरेट्स में बनना चाहते हो, तो कुछ कॉर्पोरेट ट्रेनर्स को पकड़ो, नाहिद मैम को पकड़ो कि उनकी लाइफ कैसे चलती है. हाउ डज शी अर्न मनी, व्हाट डज शी डू, व्हाट इज हर रूटीन, व्हाट शी हैज टू प्रिपेयर, हाउ मच डज शी अर्न. कॉर्पोरेट ट्रेनर से बात हो गया. एक स्कूल टीचर को पकड़ो, उनसे बात करो कैसे पहुंचते हैं स्कूल में, कितना काम करते हैं, कितना पैसा मिल जाता है. ट्राई एंड अंडरस्टैंड एवरीथिंग. समथिंग विच आई वाज डिस्कसिंग विद नाहिद सन, सेम थिंग यू हैव टू डू. यू हैव टू टॉक टू 2 or 3 एक्सपर्ट्स इन दैट फील्ड. सो इस टीचर से बात हो गई, सब कुछ लिख लिया आपने, एक अराउंड 20 सवाल बना के. अब एक ग्राफिक डिजाइनर को ढूंढिए, उनसे बात कीजिए, पूछिए कि उनका क्या काम है, क्या स्किल्स लगते हैं, कौन सी डिग्री लेनी पड़ती है, कौन से सर्टिफिकेशन है, कौन से एंट्रेंस एग्जाम है, और उसके बाद में कितनी सैलरी मिलती है और क्या प्रकार का काम होता है, कितना कंपटीशन है. ये सारी इंफॉर्मेशन मिलने के बाद में देन you would be able to choose. अगर तब भी मुश्किल लग रहा हो तो then you could do a small course of graphic designing, maybe a 6 months or a 3 months diploma, or you could apply for a teachers training institute where you can do a internship, जहां पे आप इंटर्नशिप करते करते कुछ सीख जाओगे कि यार टीचर्स ट्रेनिंग में क्या पढ़ाया जाता है, एंड देन मेक अ डिसीजन. सो डिसीजन कल करना है तो मुश्किल है, बट इफ यू हैव अ ईयर इन हैंड यू कैन डू अ वेरी गुड डिसीजन अबाउट इट.
So करियर काउंसलिंग, यस, करियर काउंसलिंग जो आपने कहा मैं उसको ही फ्रेम कर रही हूँ. एक तो अ पर्सन कैन कम एंड टेक काउंसलिंग फ्रॉम यू और मी एंड अंडरस्टैंड कि पाथवे कैसा चूज कर सकते हैं इन द ग्रेजुअल रन. दूसरा, आपने साइकोमेट्रिक टेस्ट बताए हैं. सो वी पीपल आर डूइंग द साइकोमेट्रिक टेस्ट. स्टूडेंट्स कैन कम टू अस. एक DMIT टेस्ट भी बहुत मुझे लाइक आई डू द टेस्ट, और इट मेक्स अ लॉट ऑफ सेंस, क्योंकि ये फिंगर इम्प्रिंट्स तब बनती हैं जब हम मदर्स वूम में थे, एंड द ब्रेन डेवलप्स during that same time, so we come to know our real good strengths, so we know which career which actually is suiting with our and matching our strengths. So another thing is this. Another thing, while going through a process, ये एक दिन नहीं है, when many sessions are there, तो clarity call एक अच्छे से हो जाता है. और एक चीज और इन बच्चों में मैं ऐड करना चाहती हूँ कि ओनली 40% ऑफ स्कॉलरशिप्स आर एक्चुअली अवेल्ड. यूज करते हैं बच्चे, और पेरेंट्स को भी इसकी अवेयरनेस होती है. तो ये 60% तो वेस्ट चली जाती है. तो आप कोई भी करियर चूज करें, तो कितना इट मेक्स सेंस कि यू स्टार्ट प्रोबिंग द कॉलेजेस जो आपको इंटर्नशिप और स्कॉलरशिप ऑफर कर रहे हैं. आई हैव क्रिएटेड अ ग्रुप, so those students who want to join this group, please connect with me personally so that you can be added to the group, and this will be a journey. ये एक journey है. So Sumit ji, anything you want to add here when we are doing the career choice or going with the mentor, the counseling? Anything I missed out? If you see,
So
please add.
one last thing which we should add always when you are looking at careers is that careers is an important decision to make, and this decision can be delayed by an year or half a year if you are not prepared. But getting into a decision half-heartedly, or because there was no other choice, हमने ज़्यादा सोचा नहीं, कैन लीड टू डिजास्टर्स लेटर. ये बात का ख्याल रखना बहुत जरूरी है. कई बार पेरेंट्स पुश कर देते हैं कि नहीं, अब तूने डिसाइड नहीं किया तो अब ये कर लो और ये चीज आगे बढ़ जाओ, एंड देन अ चाइल्ड एंटर्स इनटू इट हाफ हार्टेडली. The parent invests money. If you do a graduation, you spend minimum 2 lakh rupees and maximum 2 CR. So 2 लाख से 2 करोड़ के बीच में कुछ ना कुछ खर्च आप करते ही हो ग्रेजुएशन पे. एंड एक बार अंदर घुस गए तो वो थोड़ी शर्म आती है कि कैसे छोड़ दें. सो बच्चा कुछ तो भी करके 3 4 5 साल निकालता है उसके अंदर, और जब निकाल लेता है तब उसे लगता है कि नहीं यार ये गलत किया, अब मैं क्या करूं. Right, I have seen engineers specifically doing this, and many of them after engineering they start thinking अब मैं क्या करूं. मुझे इंजीनियरिंग तो कर ली पर इंजीनियरिंग कंपनी में काम नहीं करना है. आईटी तो कर ली लेकिन प्रोग्रामिंग नहीं करना है. तो की क्यों पता नहीं, तब चलती नहीं थी हमारी बात, मान ली हमने किसी की, कर ली और घुस गए थे तो बीच में छोड़ना नहीं चाहते थे. काफी लोगों ने छोड़ते भी हैं और कुछ और करते हैं. सो इस वजह से वी स्टार्ट अर्ली. Don't wait till 10th, don't wait till 12th. If you're already in 10th and 12th, spend at least 2 hours a day for your career decision. It is not one test और सब कुछ आ गया, ये हो गया. Now that is going to be risky. If you just take a test and then based on the test you decide, you have to self introspect. और उसके लिए कम से कम 2-3 महीने का समय आपने रोज 1-2 घंटा दें तो you can make a good decision. एंड पेरेंट्स का रोल.
में अर्ली बच्चे आ सकते हैं करियर काउंसलिंग के लिए. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज दिस.
चलिए, सो नेक्स्ट सेशन के अंदर उसी पे बात करेंगे. बट पेरेंट्स का भी इसमें योगदान उतना ही इंपॉर्टेंट है. अंडरस्टैंडिंग द चाइल्ड स्ट्रेंथ, वीकनेस, अपॉर्चुनिटीज एंड थ्रेट्स, पर्सनालिटी, फीडबैक अबाउट हिज लाइक्स डिसलाइक्स. इसके अंदर पेरेंट का इनपुट, आपके जैसे मेंटर का इनपुट और कुछ टेस्ट का इनपुट, ये 3 मिलकर स्टूडेंट को हेल्प करेगा कि वो डिसीजन कैसे ले. दैट्स द राइट वे ऑफ काउंसलिंग.
Thank you so much. So this was really an interesting session, and we have still audience, on YouTube. So this shows that people from the start, they are there, अभी तक हैं. So I really want to thank you, because मुझे क्या नजर आ रहा है वो आपका कमिटमेंट है और आपकी सीरियसनेस है for your life, and that is why you have seen what the conversations we were making and we were addressing to your queries. So thank you everyone, and we are here very much available through our website links. So do connect with us so that you can really create a future of your personal, like I should say, the right future in which you are happy, you are financially independent, and you are empowered to do something extraordinarily. So thank you everyone. Thank you so much, Sumit ji. And a pleasure having you every Wednesday, 9:30. And thank you. And one last one good night wish to parents by you before I close.
Okay. So for parents, a good night wish is, if you ask your child what you did at school today, please also tell your child what you did at work today.
Very
So
nice.
do not just ask, make it a give and take relationship. Inform what you do at work and then ask him what you did at school. That's the way to build the career thought process in your child.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. I knew you will give something very powerful and something valuable. Thank you.